You've probably heard of plugins. No, not that kind. I'm talking about Microsoft 365 Copilot plugins. Did you know you can use them to connect Copilot to your business apps and data? This allows Copilot to access information in your line of business systems and SaaS services. And in this video, I'll show you how. And I'll show you how you can use a Teams message extension, which is a useful feature in its own right that's already included in hundreds of Teams apps, and then use that as a plugin for Microsoft 365 Copilot. So, why should you care about plugins? Well, they make Copilot even more powerful than it is out of the box. For one thing, they can retrieve real-time data, such as current inventory status, and then relate that to information inside of Microsoft 365. They can analyze and summarize information and allow users to perform actions such as reordering a product that's low on stock. And depending on the query capabilities of the plugin, they can perform those queries in response to natural language prompts. So let's start with a quick review of message extensions, which are already widely used to find and act on business information inside of Teams and Outlook. Then I'll show you how Copilot can use them as plugins. Come on, let me show you. So here I am in a Teams chat with my colleague, Rabia, and I'm going to ask her to go count the boxes of chai and make sure that the inventory is up to date. And to make sure we're talking about the same product, I'm actually going to look it up in the Northwind inventory using this handy message extension and insert the information right in to the conversation. When Rabia receives it, she can check the inventory and then even update the inventory directly from the card, thus saving her steps of looking things up, possible misunderstandings and errors. That's a pretty useful feature on its own. But what many people don't realize is that they work in Outlook as well, providing all the same benefits when composing an email. But now with Microsoft 365 Copilot, message extensions take on a whole new meaning as they become plugins for Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let's take a look at how that works in a Microsoft 365 tenant that has Copilot enabled. So here we are inside of Microsoft 365 Chat, which is where users can go to chat with Microsoft 365 Copilot. In this scenario, I'm a logistics manager for Northwind Traders, and I've just received an email complaining that dairy items are low on stock and asking me to make sure that we have enough on order. So I'll start by asking Copilot to find Northwind dairy products that are low on stock and show me a table with the product, supplier, units on order, and in stock, and to reference the details for each product. Now you can see that Copilot is able to reach in using my same message extension that I just showed before and find that information. And you can see here that we haven't reordered Camembert. So that could be quite a problem. So I can just hover over the little reference mark and open up the adaptive card, the same card that we would have used in a Teams conversation, and I can order some more stock from there. Now I'm trying to figure out why we ran low. So I'm going to ask Copilot to draft an email for our procurement team asking them if we've had any delivery issues with these suppliers. As you can see, it remembers the context and which suppliers we're talking about and is able to draft the email easily. Now I want to point out that this only worked because the message extension was able to query my data based on more than just product name. In the initial demo, I looked up the product by name, but when I talked to Copilot, I asked it to find dairy products that were low on stock. I had to enhance the message extension to support that type of query. So let's take a peek under the hood and have a look at this snippet from the Teams app manifest. The app manifest is a file that every application needs to provide to define its use inside of Teams and Outlook. And here we're looking at the parameters for our message extension that we just looked at. Now, normally in the past, message extensions would only have one parameter, which in this case is product name. And indeed, the Teams and Outlook user interface only support one parameter at the moment. However, Copilot can support up to 5. So we've added category name, inventory status, supplier city, and stock query to the list so that Copilot can make more rich queries of the data, such as looking up dairy items that we're low on stock. So let's take a look at another business scenario using this plugin in Copilot. In this case, I'm the Northwind Beverages Manager, and I want to optimize our cash flow by examining the payment terms for our highest inventory products. So I'll start by just looking for beverages that have more than 100 units in stock. And Copilot will go and find that information and show me. What might complicate matters with a normal BI type tool is that the payment terms are not actually in the Northwind database. However, let's go ahead and ask Copilot anyway. What are the payment terms for these suppliers? And it's going to remember the context of which suppliers we're talking about, and it's literally going to go into the documents in SharePoint and find the contract for each supplier and tell me the payment terms. How cool is that? I can even hover over the citation to see the document that this came from, or to open the document to get more information. So you might be asking, how can I get a Copilot plugin for my favorite application? Well, some good news is that Microsoft Teams is adding a Works with Copilot category to the Teams app experience so that you can easily find these applications. It's also easier than ever to write them. And I've got a whole video on how to build this type of Teams message extension that works in Copilot using Teams Toolkit, which makes it easier than ever. So please check that out. There's a link down in the show notes. Even if you don't have Microsoft 365 Copilot yet, you'll find that Teams message extensions are useful to users right now, and they can light up in Copilot when you set it up in your tenant. So why wait? Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to keep up on all the latest advances in extending Microsoft 365 and Copilot. Thanks for watching.